Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here at Tallinn University's Open Days event. I'm here to introduce one of our master's programs to you, a master's program in international relations. International relations, it's a great program, certainly an interesting program, and you might be asking yourself, what are some of the reasons to choose this master's program? When we look at international relations, that obviously includes a lot of different topics, a lot of things that can fit under that discipline. And our program, doesn't cover everything. It focuses on certain elements. And two of the main elements that we have, one is certainly on security issues. We see today a number of security threats and challenges that countries and nations face. But we aim to keep our program up to date. So we don't focus only on traditional historical military aspects, but we focus on contemporary security threats, modern challenges that people are facing. We also see the world in a great period of change, sometimes turmoil even, but definitely change, where we're seeing rising powers, new institutions, disruptions and globalizations, changes, right, in political orientations, and largely we can think of this as the world order, right? The structures that are keeping things as they are changing, and so that's certainly an area of emphasis in our program as well. Another aspect that we have in our program is a very diverse and international faculty, and for me, if someone is interested in studying international relations, it's important to be able to have international perspectives on relations between states and nations and things that are going on in the world. We try to have innovative teaching methods, right? During the global pandemic, we've had some of our teaching be moved online, right? Including this presentation, which is taking place through a Zoom recording, but we definitely have active learning where we don't have an old traditional lecture style where one teacher talks for a long time and students are supposed to memorize. We have active learning, right, where students are participants, right? They are part of the learning process. They are part of class, and they're working with their fellow classmates on different assignments, on different projects. And that, what we have found, has helped students in the learning process as well. We also have an international student body, which is absolutely fascinating. We have students from literally all four corners of the planet, right? North America, Europe, right? Caucasus regions, Africa, right? Some from Asia, although not as many, but it's an absolute fascinating study and learning environment, right? As a teacher, I oftentimes marvel. I look at some of the group works, right, and you see students, right, from Russia, Ukraine, Nigeria, United States, Germany, and what a fascinating group to have that many type of different ideas, backgrounds, viewpoints for what's going on. So it really is a diverse and international program, and I think that's important when you're studying international relations. A little bit of an overview. So this is a 2-year master's program with affordable tuition rates. Lectures are Monday to Friday, and usually in the evenings. We start from about 4:30 or 16:30 if you go by military time, like most people do it in Estonia. Sometimes lectures will start at 5, and some students will find it possible and manageable to have a job during the day and come and do their studies in the evening. Sometimes students will use that time for studies or for internship or other aspects as well. So what happens with a degree in international relations, right? When you're trying to study more about, right? How peoples and nations and countries engage with one another. There's a lot of different openings and paths that you can go. Quite a few of our students will look towards government work. Usually that then happens in the student's home country, whether due to citizenship or language requirements, right? Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Defense, those type of positions. Also, there's a number of NGOs, non-governmental organizations, those that might work in development, right? Those that might work in security and elsewhere, have been places where our students have looked into employment and had employment, whether in Estonia or in their home countries as well. A lot of our students will choose to pursue a PhD in the program. They appreciate the research, being able to accomplish and produce knowledge in the social sciences. And so, going on for a PhD is certainly an avenue as well. And a PhD then, of course, would be relevant for a career in academia, think tank, right, and other kind of research-based institutions. And in the private sector, right, we've also had students who end up working with, a cybersecurity company, right, or other type of jobs that might be out there. Some of the things in more detail. So in our program, we have mandatory courses, we have elections. It's a pretty good flexible system where you'll be able to focus on the things that interest you the most. As we mentioned, that we have courses that try to stay up to date with what's going on in the world. We have modules where you can specialize in, and one of the specialties is a changing world order. The other specialty is international security and conflict. And what that means is that there's a module with a list of courses, and when you choose that module, you then will be choosing those courses to take throughout the duration of your studies, which will eventually come in handy as you also work on your thesis. We also have another elective module where you can choose other courses, courses like hybrid warfare, right? Courses like global development. We try to make sure that students have the tools to really understand what's going on in the world today. We also want our students to be able to take away and learn from some of the lessons that Estonia has achieved in the world. So when someone asks, why should you come to Estonia to study international relations, we believe that our program has the answer to that question, and that is found in the design of our program. So when you look at Estonia as a small state, a successful small state, a NATO partner, a country that has been on the forefront of developing right, some of the cybersecurity discourses, when we look at facing different energy security challenges, there's a lot that Estonia has successfully navigated, and that's also reflected in some of the research interests of our staff and also in the program. So we have a course on international energy security, the geopolitics of cybersecurity, hybrid warfare. And these are the things that we hope students will be able to take away, small states in the changing world order, right? So that they'll be able to take away the lessons that Estonia has been able to learn, in these past several decades. While this program is certainly good at preparing students for a PhD program, we also make sure that the program is not just an academic program, but that students are able to get practical experience. One way in which we do that is a mandatory internship. Students will have opportunity to find an internship in a related IR organization. And again, that could be a wide number of organizations. Many do it in an NGO, some have done it in embassies, right, other governmental institutions. Some students have done that in Estonia with our partner organizations. Some have even done it outside of Estonia, perhaps in their home country, or even through the Erasmus exchange program in a different country in Europe. In addition to the internship, we have an interdisciplinary project. What that is it's a course where students from a wide number of disciplines in the university come together, and they play a more active role in formulating some of the research problems and some of the solutions, project-based learning. And so that also is important and beneficial in students as they're really developing as many practical and important skills as possible. And then a thesis, by the MA thesis, this is a piece of scholarship, right, where it's not a paper, you're not writing a review of what others have written, but you are producing research with your research question, your research problem. You'll be guided by your use of theory, and then you'll be using methods, gathering data and analyzing that data. It's a rigorous process. You will have a supervisor, a faculty member who will be helping you out. And I think you'll find that it's a very rewarding experience to have been able to produce a piece of scholarship in international relations. A little bit about the program. I mentioned that we have an international staff. So our staff really come from all over. We have a staff from Canada, United States, myself being from the United States, Finland, Estonia, of course. It's a really great team with a lot of great ideas. Professor Mika Altula, for example, from Finland, he's published a number of books, right, on U.S. foreign policy, right, order, even global pandemics, and some of his recent work have been looking at right, democracy and Western civilization and some of the challenges that can happen. I myself, some of my research focus are on small states. I'm very fascinated on how small states can be successful in securing themselves. I'm particularly interested in some of the soft security threats. So not the traditional military, but where security and conflict and competition can enter other phases. Cyber security, energy security, hybrid warfare, right? Some of these gray area campaigns, misinformation. These are all extremely important for the security of a small state. Well, security of any state, but small states in particular. And so those are some of my interest as well. We also have faculty members who are interested in international political economy, right? Looking at currency exchanges, some of those elements, as well as more traditional security elements as well. The founder of our program, who is now retired, an emeritus professor, Jyrki Käkkönen, he also left an impression of a post-Western IR. And so we still have faculty members who are interested in other regions outside of Estonia, outside of Europe, right, India and China. And so we definitely take in those global perceptions where we do realize, right, that there is more to the world than Europe. And we certainly keep our research focus global in nature. And so, the staff members, not just their location, but also their research interests really represent that, focusing on security, on order, but also on other geographic regions, as well as the international economy. And so hopefully you are interested in our program. I think it offers a lot for students for the reasons that I've mentioned. Obviously in just a few minutes, I'm not going to be able to cover on all of the questions that you might have. Please go ahead and check our information for more, check our website for more information. One of the requirements, we require a degree in social sciences, a bachelor's degree. If you do not have a degree in a social science, you can contact me. We do make exceptions, but there have to be reasons for the exceptions, right? You've completed coursework in the social sciences, or you've had a career, in development aid, or some other type of IR career, which somehow can help complement, the lack of education in social sciences. So go ahead and send me an email about that. Also, if you have any other questions about the program, what's it going to look like, right, how it might work, please feel free to send me an email. It's a great opportunity. We also have an exchange, like many university programs, through the Erasmus program. So there's a lot of good opportunities to be found here at Tallinn University. I hope that you'll consider taking advantage of those opportunities, and maybe we'll be seeing you here in the near future. Thank you.